Guys, this bag was a huge mistake. I wasted over $2,000 on this, and this is the type of luxury shopping mistake that can send you broke. Hey everyone, it's your girl Lady Vintage Bags. Now, you and I are both here because we have something huge in common. We both love buying luxury designer handbags, but these babies aren't cheap. And as you know, every mistake can be very costly. So these are 5 luxury shopping mistakes to avoid because they can send you broke. And these are all mistakes that I've made, and I'm here to stop you from making the same mistakes as me. Mistake number 1. Following hype and trends instead of what you actually like. Hype, hype, hype. Trends, trends, trends. It's so easy to fall prey to seeing a viral product or a hot new release and just want to go for it. And then immediately tell yourself, I want that. I need that product, and start hunting it down. Now, I got so caught up in the Chanel hype. I was seeing it everywhere in my Instagram feed, YouTube, unboxing videos, collection videos. And at that time, I'd only had Louis Vuitton bags. Then I was telling myself, I need to up level. I need to get a Chanel. I need to get a Chanel for me. I need to add it to my handbag collection. And that's when the hunt started. Now, for me, what I actually want in a bag is a bag that can comfortably go crossbody, a bag that is low maintenance and is made of a tough material. And which bag did I buy? This beauty right here. She cannot comfortably crossbody. The strap's a bit too short. She's white in color, so she's high maintenance, and she's made of lambskin, a delicate material. Now, why on earth did I go against everything I actually wanted and buy a bag that's totally opposite? Because I fell into the hype. So guys, listen to your brain. If your brain says, I want this and not that, follow that instead, not the hype. Now, mistake number 2, scarcity mindset and FOMO. Now, scarcity mindset is when you believe there are limited resources. So if someone else has something, then you'll feel there's less of that resource available for you. And then this will make you think about wanting that thing even more because you want what you can't have. And you can even start obsessing over it because you think, oh no, I really want it and there's not many available. Now, the Hermes brand is king of kings of triggering this emotion in their target market. Their most desired bags, the Birkin, the Kelly, the Constance, these are all quota bags. So you can't just walk in and buy it, no matter how much money you have. And so what do we all want? Something that we can't have. And that's exactly why these bags are the most desirable. So not only can you not walk in and buy it, you have to spend an equivalent amount on other products in the bag to kowtow and prostrate yourself to the brand, to show your SA how much you love the brand. And you have to kiss ass the SA and jump through all the hoops they have laid out for you. And then maybe, just maybe, you'll be offered a bag you didn't want, in a color you don't even like, in a leather that you don't care for, just for your good work. No, I'm joking. Sometimes people do actually get the bag that they want, but it is true. Sometimes people do get offers of bags they don't want. Then they feel too scared to turn it down because they're worried that the SA won't give them another offer later. And then they'll spend that 8 to 10K on a bag that they didn't actually want just because they're like, oh no, if I don't take this one, I'll never get another one. And that's something that plays on people a lot in the consumer market. Now, scarcity mindset is something that also affected Louis Vuitton customers a couple of years ago when the Pochette Matisse was always sold out, always out of stock. And even though it had huge glazing issues, people still wanted it anyway and still FOMO'd into it anyway, even on the pre-loved market. Now, Chanel has even jumped on the bandwagon by putting a cap on a maximum of 2 classic flaps per year on their consumers. And sometimes a consumer can't even get to their 2 because what they want is out of stock anyway, or their SA can't even get it for them. Now, scarcity mindset doesn't just affect handbags, it can affect many areas of our life, particularly for those who in the past or in the present are experiencing financial hardship. Actually, I've talked to a lot of people from older generations, particularly those who've lived through wartime, also called war babies. Now, those people have been affected in the way of food and household items. They'll use up one, and instead of buying one to replace it, they'll often buy 3 just to make sure that they have enough available. When you get scarcity mindset, it gives you FOMO, and then you end up buying more of something, or even just buying something you otherwise wouldn't have in the first place. I mean, look at me. I FOMO'd into Chanel. I bought a Chanel bag, and then I bought another Chanel bag, and then another Chanel bag, and then I moved on to ready to wear, and then bought another ready to wear, and then I bought a pair of shoes. Now, did I need any of these? No. Did they all suit my needs? No. Did I FOMO into every single purchase? Probably yes. Did I spend a lot of money because of it? Sure hell did. Now, mistake number 3 is price. Now, price might sound like a bit of an oxymoron to you, like, how can price be a mistake? If anything, Price will make you think twice before handing over your hard-earned money to buy something. But price can be a big pitfall. Now, the first way price often affects people is when these fashion houses announce their price increases. That's when people often rush online or rush to the store or rush to texting their SA to buy a product that's affected by the upcoming price increase, which in 2 weeks is now going to cost a couple of $100 more when they initially weren't going to buy the product anyway. Like 6 weeks ago when there was no price increase announcement, these consumers weren't going to buy this product. But now 6 weeks later, they get a notice that in 2 weeks time, this product is going to be a couple of $100 more expensive. Now they're suddenly like, nah, I got to get it at a better price. I got to secure it at the old price before it goes up. But you didn't want it 6 weeks ago when it still is at that price. But now the idea of it being $200 more, you suddenly want it. It doesn't make the product any more suitable for you. It's just that perceived deal based on the price has changed, and now it's triggered you to want to buy it because of a price change. Now, in the case of Chanel, the price doesn't just go up a couple of hundred. It can go up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, especially for the classic flaps when they go up in price. Geez, those price increases are huge. Now, when it comes to pre-loved bags, the price can actually be a red flag. Now, when you see a pre-loved bag at what you perceive to be a really good price and a really good deal, you may want to go, right, I need to catch that deal. I need to secure the deal. I need to secure the bag. But oftentimes, if a deal is too good to be true, it's probably a red flag. Now let's talk about this bag again. This bag was priced at over 2,000 Australian dollars or 1,600 US dollars. This is for a vintage Chanel with the gold CC. Whenever I see vintage Chanel with the gold CC, I'm immediately drawn to it. Now, I thought that was a really good price. Now, I was asking the seller questions. I asked the seller point blank period, has this bag ever been sparred? And the seller said no. Now, the bag has indeed been painted. So usually when a bag has been painted, your reply should be, yes, it has been sparred. But the seller said no. So I thought I was getting a mad, awesome deal. Vintage Chanel gold CC white unsparred bag for 1,600 US dollars or 2,300 Australian dollars. So I jumped on it. Now, I was so pissed off when I got the bag because when I felt it, when I felt the leather, I knew something was off. I already have a lambskin bag that's vintage. This beauty right here. So I know what it should feel like when you get a soft, supple, luxurious vintage Chanel lambskin bag. And let me tell you, they do not feel the same. This one feels drier, crispier, flatter. It's got no luster really. And you can see a lot of like wrinkling in the leather. It's been painted. It doesn't feel like this at all. This one feels, oh, yummy. Now that really pissed me off that the seller said no to me. So that would have been the red flag. And if I had a better eye for these things, I would have seen it better in the pictures that were sent to me. But my eyes just, they weren't thinking too good that day. So this was a red flag that I had missed, and it was because of the price that I got suckered into it. Now, if you want to see the story of when I unboxed this handbag, I'll actually leave the unboxing video up above and in the description box down below, and you'll actually see which authenticator I use for vintage Chanel now as well. Now, mistake number 4, keeping up with the Joneses. Now, at some point in our adult life, we have all been affected by the keeping up with the Joneses syndrome in some way or another, in some aspect or another in our life. I don't think anyone is immune to the keeping up with the Joneses syndrome. I mean, how else did I end up with 20 plus designer handbags? Now, it doesn't just affect us in the way of handbags. It can be any area of life. You want to have a big house like what everyone has. You want to have a nice car like what everyone has. You want to have a great career like what everyone has. It can be anything. And it's not just necessarily keeping up with the Joneses of the people in our real life, but also the lives we see online. I mean, online, we're often seeing the best snippets of everyone's lives condensed down into a 30-second mind-stimulating video. And often what happens is these videos make us compare our lives to the lives that we see online, and it often leaves us feeling inadequate or insufficient in our own lives. So what's the natural reflex to do? Start thinking about which areas in our life we can up level, we can improve, we can bring up. This could be our face. This could be our body. This could be our handbag collection. Now, keeping up with the Joneses is a huge topic I deep dive into in my last video about how I went broke keeping up with the luxury community when I spent my last $2,000 buying this bag. My last $2,000, guys. I don't advise anyone ever do that by spending the last $2,000 on a handbag, but it's true. It's what I did. And it's because I got caught up in keeping up with the Joneses and how I was chasing my next dopamine hit by buying handbags. So guys, if this sounds relatable to you, or this is something you're going through where you're just chasing handbags and overspending and really getting down and getting broke, then watch that video, guys. I know a lot of us can relate to that topic and I deep dive into it. Okay, now mistake number 5. Emotional spending. I bought this bag when I was happy. I bought this bag when I was sad. I bought this bag when I was stressed the F out. And I bought this bag when I was dead tired, scrolling like a zombie in the middle of the night. Now, constant luxury handbag shopping is fine if you can fit it into your budget, and power to you if you can. But me, honestly, I can't. I'm just a regular person on a regular income, and I cannot afford to constantly buy luxury designer handbags. I probably shouldn't have even bought as many as I have over the years. Often when we make decisions based off our emotions, our risk assessment is adversely affected, and then we inadvertently make irrational decisions. And that's when we go, okay, oh, I'm happy. Yeah, let's do it. Let's buy a bag. Or I'm sad or stressed the F out. You know what? Screw it. Let's just buy the bag. Or when we're scrolling like a zombie in the middle of the night, we're like, huh? Well, this bag looks okay. And then suddenly when a bag appears at your front door, you're like, huh? When did I buy this? Now, I'm sure a couple of you can relate to some of these scenarios I'm putting up there, because I definitely can. I have definitely been guilty of doing all of these things. And when you're making irrational decisions, not using your proper risk assessment, that's when you can make a lot of purchasing mistakes. And guys, these babies, they're not cheap. Each mistake can cost you hundreds and thousands of dollars. Especially pre-loved, you can't always just send them back depending on where you buy them from. Now, if you're anything like me and you're experiencing a less financially prosperous year this year as compared to past years, but you still have that huge desire to buy luxury handbags, but you know you shouldn't and you should be saving that money instead, I've actually got another video called Getting Poorer But Love Buying Luxury Handbags, which is a bit of an encouragement video to help you abstain from buying the bag and save that money for something more important instead. And I'm going to link that video up above and in the description box down below for you.